As if looking through a kaleidoscope, Night City likes to show off the myriad of its skyscrapers reaching for the sky, and the accompanying lights breathing in and out the air, carrying promises outlined by a distinct glow. But at a closer look, this is no oasis in the desert that is the junk life in a cyberpunk world. And so, the skyscrapers are only allowed to touch such heights by weighing down the scraps of a society reduced to a minimum. Forgetful of any sense of morality, decency, and civility, the lights only encage these citizens in an inescapable trap, and shining bright is all those empty promises have to offer. Night City is the epitome of humanity's decadence, where life and death have both lost their importance and its people reduced to a literal wreck. With how far progress has come and with such milestones achieved, one would expect a parallel growth of the welfare instead of a dystopian scenario, and yet the long-wished enhancements brought by the cyberware have only ended up upgrading the worst side of man: violence and greed, disproportionately distributing power to the hands of a few mega corporations whose influence and dominion surpassed the market, settling itself far above nations. In such a world, life is dispensable, short, insignificant, and fast-paced. No matter how anyone may carry their life, it's only their death that Night City remembers. And for the reason of being the culprit, death is but the natural consequence of a system where technology implanted into human flesh become a permanent and essential part of the body, eating away the organic side of humanity, defines the social and economic status of its participants, who can by no means afford to stay behind in the race that is life. The cyberware is often not simply enhancing, but replacing and taking over humanity, artificially. And of course, corporations producing such a product control life, because nobody is granted permission to not keep up some way or another with progress, even when it means to step out of the law. Edge runners are so called because of that, or rather because they run on the edge between life and death, racing the fastest through the city lights with no time to waste, no time to rest. Such is life's pace for the scraps of society who just want to survive and place their hopes in a dream of success. David's only one of the many victims of a system giving birth and invigorating such a psychedelic lifestyle, creating for each generation another tale for the next dreamer, another legend for the kids to dream about, feeding their ambitions of making it out of this cage of light, imprisoning its citizens in metal and microchips. Should progress have advanced this far, machine is taking over humanity. It's just not possible to stop chroming up, because it has to be done in order to survive, and the divide between rich and poor only widens by the day thanks to it. And as much as nobody would like to keep supporting corporations, it's impossible not to, because they are the ones in control of what humans need. It's them to dictate life, in short. Truly a world of sharks where there is no soul to trust, if there is any left. What is it that keeps us human when even the heart is of iron and microchips? Maybe it's love and dreams. David carried the dreams of those he loved and fulfilled them. He literally gave Lucy the moon, seemingly the only place left where to feel warmth, and breathe a different atmosphere, pure and yet immune to the language of the world below. The moon as a utopia for a new start, free of corruption. Was David special? Yes, but does it even matter when facing the shadow projected by the skyscrapers and lights? When it's the city itself that kills you? David died the death of many, ineluctably, son of a sad destiny whose actions in the end were not those of a superhero who manages to change the life of everybody and defeat the big and evil system. His death was not extraordinary. It was part of Night City's normal routine. Nothing in the grand scheme of things was shaken, and despite this, David's death still held great meaning for one person. It was a miracle. And in all that junk, changing even if a single life was more than enough.